to Take Two, a discussion of the times and current events. I'm joined by Adam Matlack and Mike Pomerantz, and our topic today is who will give Trump a better debate, Bernie Sanders or Joe Biden?
Thanks, Richard. When Bernie was looking great a couple weeks ago before Super Tuesday, I was like, all right, man, your brand is grievance. Your brand is whining and complaining about how everybody's out to get you. Now it looks like you're going to be the nominee. You better be right. You better be able to pull this off. I don't want to hear, if you get trounced by Trump, I don't want to hear, oh, it was Jeff Bezos' fault. Oh, it was the Washington Post out to get me. Now everything is different. Now Biden has so much momentum. It's Super Tuesday Part 2 today. Bernie could get blown up within the next couple hours, maybe by the time you're watching this. So, okay, how do we feel about Biden against Trump? I'm a person who wants Trump out of office as much as I want anything in public life, in politics. But I have a serious concern about Biden standing on a debate stage and becoming Hillary 2.0. But instead of attacking women, now Trump's going to attack senior citizens. And I mean, he's got the coalition, he's got the endorsements, but I'm right back where I was a couple weeks ago, where if you think you're the dude, if you really want this, man, I hope you're right. Because for a guy who fumbles and mumbles and stumbles all the time with his mouth about this, that, and the third, I don't know that Biden can do it. And if it were just about the debate, if it wasn't about all the other stuff, I would say Bernie's my guy. But I don't think the debate is the whole can of beans. I know it's a huge, huge part of it. But boy, I am worried. Bernie's got the bad ticker, but man, he never has, or I should say, he has almost never hit the the banana peel. He's not the king of the self-own. Maybe when he didn't tell us that the Russians were helping him, he kept that secret for a month. I didn't feel great about that. But when he's running his mouth, when he's debating, when he's interviewing, he almost never gets himself in trouble. Biden, on the other hand, can't say that.
Yeah, I think if we're measuring these guys off a debate, you should absolutely be worried that Biden is the nominee or likely nominee. I mean, if we go to a contested convention, Biden's going to win. It's not even going to be close. It'll be on the second vote. The superdelegates will all be bought. That's just how the Democratic convention has always worked. And the GOP too. I'm not saying that's not similar, but I think it's really clear that absolutely correct. Bernie stays on message better. He drums it and over and over and over again and hammers his message. It's the big bad wolf. It's everybody else's fault. Rich people shouldn't exist. These are the problems. We should, healthcare is a human right. All these things that are, really nice. Even says things about Denmark that aren't true about Denmark. Yet everybody is like, even Denmark is like, hey, that's not true. But everybody's like, it doesn't matter. It's fine. It's all good. So one guy has dementia, right? And that's Biden. And he does. I mean, it's pretty obvious. The other guy is just, an angry old guy. The problem for Bernie, though, is that he's a legit socialist. And there's a lot of people in this country. And I don't know why he insists on branding himself with this socialist thing where he couldn't just said, I'm a Democratic progressive. I don't know why that is a hill he wants to die on. That's the dumbest thing. It just shows you, quite frankly, his intelligence is questionable in today's politics. Somebody should have been like, hey, you shouldn't use the word socialist because everybody thinks it's evil. And that's a really bad branding tool. He should have came up with something else, but he didn't. And Trump's going to be able to use that as ammunition in the debates. And that's the real big worry, is how much is Trump going to be able to hammer back, clap back at that.
I think another reason that I would prefer Bernie on the debate stage, and I agree with what you're saying, it's one of the colossal blunders of branding that I can think of, because he's so charismatic. He has such a presence, and young people react to him, and I love that. But man, why do you have to use that word? I'm right on the same page with you on that. But one thing I would say, and again, this is sort of a hypothetical where it's just the debate because there's all these other issues, there's super delegates. But if you're looking at just the debate, I do think Bernie is much better at not taking the bait, not being a reactionary. I don't even think he'd bother listening to Trump. I think he would just, like you said, stay on message and keep pushing his point. And I don't think, if it is the two of them, I don't think the debates will move the needle that much. And that's too bad. But I'm even more afraid that if it's Biden, the debates will move the needle and in the direction opposite for the way that I want it to go.
Yeah, if your public goal or one of your highest stated goals is to get Trump out of office, I would be worried. I really would, because these two guys pose a lot of problems on both sides. But I think Bernie in particular is able to stay on message. And really, ultimately, I think it really does come down to, how well is he going to play? I think people look at they look at elections in this two-party system the same way. It's like lesser of two evils. Who do I identify? What's the pick here? This guy's better, that guy's better. It's all these questions of like direct, when it comes down to two people, which is the choice that represents me or doesn't represent me. And I think ultimately, Bernie would probably do so much outlandishly better on the debate stage than Biden. But in so many ways, the most interesting, compelling thing about a Bernie nomination is that I don't believe, we wouldn't see a center or a readjustment of centering of him. He would literally come out and for the first time since I can ever remember, a nominee would not move to the center on a couple different policies after. I actually think he'd stay there, which is one of the reasons why I think he has such this cultish following, because he wouldn't center himself like every other nominee has in the past. And I think that's also something to be considered of. So.
That's all the time we have today. Thanks again, guys, for your thoughts. If you enjoyed our video, please be sure to like and subscribe below and join us for our next installment of Take Two.